Yay, we're live and late. Hi guys.
Oh, my
We've been
stomach.
having some
Yeah, well,
well,
stomach problems. It's not.
well, yeah, plus we've had a discussion or two. But anyway,
Yes.
that's something else we're not going to talk about.
Hello, one and
Keith
all.
Jeffrey,
Oh,
1974, puts in £5. Woo, thank
oh.
you. I actually like the Star Trek 2009 battle scenes. The rest of the movie is not so good. DS9 when the Cardassians switched sides. Which 2009 battle scene? You said scenes. I
I mean,
mean,
I'll guess the Kelvin at the start, but it was more just a one-sided. We pew pew you. Kelvin fires 6 missiles, and then Kelvin goes bluey. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a battle. And after that, it's just jellyfish shooting lots of weapons at. I just said there's pretty much no like battle, conventional battles. It's more just
it's
you know,
aftermath of the battle around Vulcan.
with a
Or
saucer the
around,
size of the size of
yeah.
gosh, what everything, the biggest thing ever. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
hello
Hello.
everyone. Um,
Hello.
lot of things to talk about. But obviously, we like to have some people join us first. So, Stuart,
Yes.
do you want to tease the audience with? Cause we did
Oh.
like 3 hours of filming today, 3 or 4 hours of concentrated filming. Do you want to give them a quick maybe tease of something we filmed today? What are we expecting soon?
Let me think about that. No, I don't want to.
Question asked, question answered. There you go, guys.
Yeah, we got some interesting stuff coming up. One that's been requested for a while has been filmed and will be out soon. I can't remember who keeps requesting it out there, but it has to do with something you might find in the kitchen, like a cleave something. So we did something on that. We've also done a few interesting ones that Samuel brought to the table, which was nice, and then continuing one of our other series, like concept series. So there's a bunch of cool stuff. We also have a bunch of filming to do tomorrow as well, which will be fun. So Joseph Petrick puts in €2. Thank you, sir. Lasers rule. Had LASIK surgery today. Epic battle. You literally had
Hey,
LASIK surgery today?
hope it goes well for you in the aftermath.
That's awesome. I've been considering getting that because I'm blind as a goddamn bat. But I've got astigmatism and a bunch of shit they can't really fix. I could probably just, reduce the size of my glasses a little bit if I did it. But uh, yeah, I don't know about things going in my eyes, lasers or otherwise. Kind of freaks me out.
You don't want to be like Leland. You got to trust the computer and the people that do it, otherwise, it could go wrong for you.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Although it's the longer you leave it with them, the better the technology gets. So I guess I'm kind of waiting. I guess I don't know. Um, but yeah, thank you for joining us today, guys. Sorry we're a little bit late. We apologize, but we're going to talk about some of our favorite Trek battles. There are quite a few. I've got a few that I wanted to talk about right off the top, but we'll get to those in just a second. Because Fleet Paw Swiftback puts in $9.99. Thank you very much. Let's start it off. First and second battles of DS9, Operation Return, Battle of Basin Rift, Battle of the Mutaran Nebula, and the Battle of Kittimer. Two of those are probably on my list. Just saying. The other ones I don't know which ones they are. So,
Well, I wanna start specifically with just sort of a sense of when was really the first battle, because in the original series, and I do actually mean chronologically with 60s tech, were there any actual battles realized on screen in the 60s, or was it more just cut away from one ship moving and co to the Enterprise going foo foo foo, and then cut to another space going
well, you're thinking of Balance of Terror, obviously.
yes. Was there really any battle? I mean, even TNG
Yes.
where everything's staying still. I mean, did we even really get full proper battles until DS9? I want to, like, when was the first
Wow.
real
Whoa.
battle?
Whoa,
Well,
whoa,
that's why
whoa,
I'm
whoa,
wondering.
whoa, whoa.
That's why,
Doomsday Machine for sure was a real battle. The Doomsday Machine was firing at them. They were strafing it,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Although that
That's
was
why I
more
answered the question.
remastered. That was more remastered. There were a few
Yeah,
shots in the original though
probably not
that were
strafing.
more battle like. Um, so yeah, I'd go with that one for
Okay,
sure.
I'm gonna have a look at the classic one then to see.
Yeah. Um, And then of course the movies. The movies have some of my favorite battles
That's
because
true.
I prefer ship on ship, not necessarily fleet battles. I mean, fleet battles are cool and shiny to look at, and ooh, but
Mm-hmm.
I prefer the more ship on ship kind of thing. So,
That's true. That's true.
and yeah, Balance of Terror, Jeff, was kind of, it's not on my list because really it's, let's say that, you see flak off around the ship and then they shoot into nothing and do the same thing, and you don't really see any good battle. You know what I mean?
I
It's
mean,
all implied.
obviously they are battles. We're not taking away from it being battles. I mean, if you fire a weapon, it's a battle. But I just meant, when was the first like realized Trek battle actually had a vibe to it? So I do know Machine possibly. I'll have to go back into the archive and have a look. But it might really be the movies when they actually had a budget. I mean, you can't argue the Mutara. All of the Wrath of Khan battles are pretty damn great. They're
Hmm.
very, even with Khan's lack of 2D, they are quite. There is motion, but it's always very. It's still quite static motion. Does that make sense? It's in the second
Uh,
battle, and there's at least a three-dimensional planes to it. But even so, there's no like this. There's no like going up, and you can really picture its miniatures on a rig going. There's no like
mm,
sweeping moves so much. But I think that's
yeah.
probably the first battle, like epic scope. Unless you want to include, the Klingons firing on Vija, the epic battle
Yes.
slightly
Battle of
alongside.
V'ger.
But yeah,
Um, yeah, no, I was gonna say Wrath of Khan's definitely on my list because that is a good battle. You get some good hits and you get some, he almost hits the ship as he flies over top of the Enterprise, and you get to see the result of the battle, like damage, people injured, killed. I
yeah.
mean, really kind of visceral that way. So that one's definitely on my list. But then again, so is. See, I want to see Star Trek 3, but there's no battle really. It's we shoot the Grissom blows up.
Yeah,
Um, we shoot the Enterprise gets and then self-destructs.
and that's more attacks.
Yeah,
Yeah, a couple of attacks. I don't know.
but then oh, I was gonna say, and then you get Star Trek 6, and that's where we get some cool streaking in and firing while cloaked and stuff.
That's more a
It's
choreographed battle, isn't it?
yeah. It's kind of a dance, if you will.
Yeah. And I gotta pop off for a second, but also do the super chats. And then I would love you to think about TOS for a minute straight and see if you can what are the actual battle episodes. It'd be fun to try and have a think and when might the first have been. After super chats, pop back in a minute. Sorry guys.
Hmm. Yeah, he's going to be taking the break every once in a while. He's got a bit of a sour stomach, but he'll be back, so don't worry. Gmon78 puts in £2. Sacrifice of Angels, late Klingon arrival. Yes, that would work. Sacrifice of Angels is definitely a standout one for sure. Joseph Petrick puts in another €2. E smashing the scimitar, and Anti-Trekker taking down the Discovery. Yeah, the battle in Nemesis was good. Seeing the scimitar cloaked and getting hit and then exposing part of then the swoops, and that was a good one. That was a good one, actually. I find the big screen epic ones are the best for me. The kind of ship on ship, big screen budget, really good. Gmon78 puts in £2. Enterprise versus Bird of Prey in Undiscovered Country. Yeah, just talked about that one. That one would definitely be on there for sure. Fleet Pass Swiftback puts in $4.99. Thank you. Basin Rift was Nemesis. Also forgot Battle for the Weapon, Enterprise. Oh, yeah, that's a good one as well. With the Zindi and the massive weapon thingy, destroyer of Earth or thingy. Yes. Minder115 puts in $2. Have a free super chat from my YouTube Premium. Well, thank you, Minder115. That's awesome. But yeah, I think some of my favorites are the actual movie battles because they are more cinematic, I guess is the word I'm looking for. little bit bigger budget, better effects. Uh, until Deep Space Nine came along. Deep Space Nine really kind of blew us out of the water with really cool battle sequences. But the fleet stuff is the fleet stuff. It's fun to watch, but like I said earlier, I prefer more of the ship on ship kind of action. Lower Actual puts in $5. Not much of one, but the Enterprise, when Terran Archer comes to the rescue of the TOS Constitution, kicking butt. Um, yeah, In a Mirror Darkly, that was a good one. Not much of one, as you said, but I find a lot of the battles in Star Trek are that way. They're not prolonged battle sequences. They're very much um, attack, react, done kind of thing. DS9 Alternate Reality Defiant versus the Alliance, sure. First dislike for not reading my comment. Here you go. I just read your comment, Mr. Spiner. Let me go see what your comment was. Oh my goodness. Where is it? That's why I don't like the regular chat, because it's so hard to keep track of everything. Mr. Spiner. Cannot find your comment to read it. So I do not believe you actually left a comment. Sorry if I missed it. Fleet Boss Swiftback puts another $2.99. Battle of Sector 001 Classic. Yes. Yes. Sure. Year of Hell. There you go. Adam Boots puts in £2. Which do you prefer, original Doomsday Machine or remaster? I very much prefer the remastered. All the effects in the remaster, well, 90% of them are far superior to the original. But now Samuel's back, so he can talk.
I like your comment about you like just ship versus ship. There's a certain personability of that, or like one ship versus a couple. Because if you have fleet versus fleet, I mean, as we went from the Dominion War, all the background stuff is actually doing anything, which is fine, but but as someone who's done battles and knows exactly how hard they can be, and that's my reasonably medium end, it's like every single shot is a creation, and while the composing is easy, sometimes you can do 15 layers, because at least the way I do it, because you have the stars, nebula, ship, other ship, other ship, other ship, glow passes for each of them. You have to have the weapon blast, you have to have the shield for each one, maybe you have to have a bonus flare as well. It gets very tedious, and that's why the DS9 stuff's so impressive, because they did really push the boat out. And then you take the same idea in TNG, the fact that their battles were so beautiful looking. Mm-hmm. They were not ever elaborate, because moving anything is what took a lot of time. Planning any sort of camera motion is the tricky thing. If you recall that shot when the what's it called, the Hathaway, the Constellation fires its little beams on the Enterprise. I think it was the Enterprise. It comes up from the back of the Enterprise, shoots its little beams, and goes over. That's an intricate shot. That's a really good looking shot, because it was trying something cool. That was like one of the standouts of the thing. Although often, do you expect big capital ships to be just zooming through space, or are they not capital battleships that stay relatively static-ish and let the weapons do the work? So why would you wouldn't expect the Enterprise D to be go whoosh against birds of prey? You just wouldn't think that, would you? So it's like they're much more battleship naval than fighters.
I find that's ape brain. I mean, I love the Newtonian physics aspect of ship piloting. Doug kind of did a little bit of that in his effects for James Cawley for what's the name of that one with the Doomsday Machine?
In Harm's Way.
In Harm's Way. It was kind of spinning around. People hated it, but I thought it was kind of interesting. it's space. Who knows what you can do?
Yeah.
Structural integrity fields are a thing for a reason. You should be able to like rock that ship and you know put a little bit of pressure on it.
And I'm not saying that I don't agree. I just said that does TNG even have battles, but it's just more that the way they're presented is very much that these are these big capital ships. So you wouldn't these sort of slower battles you would expect, and I say battle in just a, even I remember in Yesterday's Enterprise. Well, Enterprise D is just going on its axis, firing multiple phases, and it's like, yeah, it's moving while it's firing. And we're like, yeah, it's like, because it moved. Oh, that's the cell? So
Well,
that's what I mean. When did battles really start? And what, I mean, because if you think Voyager, they had lots of very dynamic, action-y battles. Yes, you're right, it's normally action-reaction.
you know when battles really started? Starfleet battles.
Ha!
Because you can do high
Right.
energy turns. So if you only have front-facing
Yeah.
weapons charged for some reason, you do a high energy turn,
Mm.
swing right around, fire. And then if you do too many high energy turns, it's a stress on your structural integrity fields. You have to roll for breakdown, and if your ship breaks down, it starts to tumble with no power until it recovers. So, things like that make it more interesting. Because the game was battle based, it took a lot of liberties that way and kind of
Yeah.
made space battle something really fun to do. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Kev M. Scotland puts in £2.
Thank you.
Way of the Warrior, Defiant
Mhm.
plus Station Assault.
Defiant plus station assault?
Yeah, that's what it
When
says.
did the Defiant attack the station? Oh, do they mean the other station, the one where you see an Excelsior get like burned away? So they don't
I would
mean,
think that's the one.
yeah, rather than DS9 station assault.
Mm.
But it
Don't know.
depends. It depends because I'm scrolling through Wrath of Khan right now, and just because the artistry is there, you feel weight, you feel power, and it feels more real. But or do you want the sort of mostly their effects of Voyager? What do you really value? I mean, I've and this confused me. People have both argued that Nemesis has the best and worst battle.
How is it the worst?
Yeah, see, exactly. Because all they do is they hit each other's shields, and so nothing until near the end has any actual impact. So all you're seeing is, foreplay, nothing, and then some stuff starts happening, but it's just shielding. There's no tension, there's no build up. It's just stuff, and I can kind of see that, but that's what ships would be. I mean, it is that sense of attrition. Your job is to hurt their shields until you can actually get hits through. And as soon as you can start getting hits through, you can start doing damage, and hopefully the damage will build up, and you can cause systems to fail or whatnot. So I think tactically it makes sense. I would have said,
But I mean, you're going to see a lot of that anyway with it's going to be shield impact. I mean, how many times do you hear that? There's shields are down to 70%, shields are down to 65%.
Yeah.
And you do sometimes get internal damage still, because I'm going to go back to Starfleet battles again. Sorry, but me and my brother play something called the leaky shield rule. So every fourth hit on a shield is actually an internal hit, just because feedback damage or something from the impact makes it more interesting, instead of just taking the shields down, which takes forever in some cases, to just actually start getting internal damage and affecting systems.
Well, it's like in STO or in Starfleet Command, is like the first few minutes is just a case of get the shields down, Okay, now it gets interesting, because now the hits actually, all the shield arrays are all red. Great, now we can be tactical and do stuff about that. That's the tricky thing.
Yeah. Ventress 55 puts in £5. Star Trek 2 and 3 battles felt similar to World War II submarine battle movies. Klingon officer in 3 counting down the range is one of my favorite moments ever. Yes.
It's true.
Yeah. The Calicams. Yeah, that was great.
Well, both Star Treks 2 and 3 both had the sense that every single impact, every single shot mattered. I mean, obviously both were the only reason they could fight is because one was undermanned, underpowered, underwhatevered.
Well, they took the shields out of the equation and made it interesting because the Enterprise didn't get its shields up on time because
Yeah.
we were one big happy fleet, and so the hit, and
Yeah.
then we used the prefix code to get the Reliance shields down. And then screw you guys.
Yeah.
So they took the shields out of the equation, and I think that makes it way more interesting for sure. But shields are there for a reason, so I don't see the Nemesis battle being anything taken away from it by shield impact, shield impact, shield impact. I think I like that. It's a good game of cat and mouse in that nebula with the cloak ship, and then the strategy of dropping part of your cloak so you look like you're damaged.
Yeah,
that's great.
When also they run out of torpedoes. Another sense of, if we don't get our hits in properly, what a waste of torpedoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you've got Battle First Contact, the Sector 001, which is, again, it's a battle in vibe, but really, and I really watched it the other day, if you watch it, every time you cut into the Enterprise, everyone is so composed and standing still, talking at a normal pace. There isn't that same urgency that there could be. There's not like, quick, fire this, quick, shield, do a turn. It's just like, we're going to zoom in, we're going to target, we're going to turn back around, we're all going to shoot. We did it! While visually it's gorgeous, if you cut to their acting, and this is something I found with Convergence, we're in a battle, but really they're just in a green screen studio. There's nothing kinetic in the performances. We have to do some reshoots because they're just not adding enough of the vibe that, why don't you look worried? Why aren't you, you know what I mean? Mr. Hawk, why do you look bored? Sir, our shields are fine. I know, but 10,000 people just died,
Because I'm only here for the day, because I get turned into evil and then I die.
I get turned into Leland, yeah. Boo.
Oh, hey, don't say that.
Boo.
Gmon78 puts in 2 pounds. The die is cast. Cardies and Romulans versus the Dominion.
Gonna have to find that one again.
Yeah.
See, I know some show names. Oh, that's when they bomb the planet from orbit and then they come back and do mean things to them. I mean, again, that wasn't so much a battle as a planetary bombardment.
Yeah.
And then they retaliate, because the thing, actually, someone said there's obviously a few little battle bits which are great. Someone said today, based on another video, they said, they wished some of the battles would have been in the deleted scenes of DVDs, unused battle clips. And I said, huh? You work out what battles you want early on, about what shots, and any shots you don't need, you cut, you don't finish. So there wouldn't be a single unused battle, because that'd be a waste of funds, a waste of everything. You wouldn't be sustainable.
Yeah.
So, you could be looking at like $1,000, $10,000. Don't know what you charge, but lots of your budget per shot. That's why a lot of the time, like if you recall with Timeless, the entire for Voyager, Relativity, the entire first shot he took of Planitia was only made because the team thought, we want this shot. They made it in their own time. They didn't charge for it,
Roberto Ellison says, why do shields fail so fast on Starfleet ships? As we just talked about, to make things interesting. Otherwise, people complain that, there's nothing happening. There's no stakes.
It's a balance. It's one of those things where when people say, well, fellowships are really weak, the bridge at the top then gets destroyed really easily. It's like, yes, if shields go down, that's your one big line of defense. Yes, it's like if your hull gets turned, if you're in a submarine and your hull goes away, yes. They should really have more hulls. It's like hulls, there's a certain amount. Like, shields are the most important thing in space, and 99% of the time you're flying in space, not in a battle, where shields are completely effective, completely useful. But if you're facing another ship designed to shoot you and blow you out of the water, it's like, shields have finite ability,
Yeah.
But they're very powerful considering, I'm sure shields would pretty much be able to work infinitely long as there's power in most circumstances, just, against ships that are shooting big killer weapons at you.
Yeah. Keith Jeffrey, 1974, puts in 2 pounds. Audio of Sector 001 was better storytelling.
Huh.
Wow.
It was yeah. But if you recall, they were going to do a much bigger battle, and they just couldn't.
Yes. Everything all right?
Yeah, my camera's going green. It was jittering green, so I've...
Yeah, you were frozen for a second there too before you did that.
Yeah. Oh, still going green to me. Is it going green for you, Stuart? And we're just flashing green?
Nope, not at all. On the live feed you are, but on my end, nope. You're clear.
That's great. That's great. I don't know why I'm going green.
That's what mine does sometimes. Remember?
That's pretty bad. That is.
Yeah. Well, hold on. We'll try to fix it. Maybe I don't know what you want to do, but Gmon78 puts in 2 pounds.
Thank you.
Worf versus the Jem'Hadar by Inferno's Lights. Blurry. Chris Jackson, $2. Can we analyze USS Defiant versus the USS Lakota?
I want to talk about that one. What do you think of that battle?
I don't remember much of it. I remember the shot of the Lakota and the Defiant over top of it. But nothing specific beyond that, really. I need to rewatch that for sure.
I like that battle because it's one of the very few Federation vs. Federation ship shots, although the scale is wrong and they knew the scale was wrong when they did it. Although I'm not sure I could even buy a Excelsior refit, be able to take on a Defiant. I know they said it was refitted heavily, but that's a lot of, you know what I mean? That'd have to be even more state-of-the-art shields than Defiant, and even more state-of-the-art phasers. You'd really have to, what's that, like sovereign power at that level? Although it shows you could refit old space frames. I mean, if it was that easy, just rearm it with better weapons and shields, then why can't you do that for all ships and get a massive power jump if it was comparable?
Yeah. Well,
I like the maneuverability of the Defiant. I like that a lot. I like the fact it uses all its weapons in one battle. Phasers, aft torpedoes, aft phasers, pulse phasers, quantums, like that. I love. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
But can you imagine the stress level of the characters? I mean, at some point we're going to get through to the hull. At some point, a torpedo might hit the Lakota, hit through the Lakota, and 15 people fly into space. And you're now responsible for their deaths. And then, okay, in 5 minutes you won't be war criminals, but are you forgiven for that? For killing those people? I mean, do you just disable them? Or what if you hit the warp coils and it causes a feedback loop and it sparks and it starts a fire and it kills 3 people? Does Worf have to go to those 3 people and say, well, at the time we were both in a mini-civil war, therefore I shouldn't be tried? That sort of situation, horrible to be in.
Well, yeah. But Adam Boots puts in 2 pounds. Not ships, but very gritty. The Siege of AR 558. Ugh, I hate that episode. But
we should do that on Trekyards reviews. Although
we should.
Mr. Ellison, again, that's comments right after that, saying why did shields fail? If you actually watch the Dominion battles, like, no one uses shields at any point. Like, shields aren't a factor in DS9 at any point, except, like, the earliest model shots, because adding more layers of shields just is impractical. So, and no one ever notices that. There's no one using shields. Everything is direct to hull impact. It's like, there's no shields. And there's no registries on any ship. It's like, because in the shot, there's this Enterprise D. Where's the registry? And where's the... thingy's shield? It's like, it's just not a thing they could add to the render farm,
Which is a shame. I mean, hopefully if they remaster, they'll add that kind of thing back.
It'll change the feel, though. It'll change the feel drastically.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I'm trying to think back to the actual first battle in TOS, and I don't know if it was Doomsday Machine or not, but what about the Ultimate Computer? where the Enterprise takes on the other Constitution class ships. You get a little bit of more of a battle feel in the remastered again, but
That's why I'd wish they'd actually gone full steam ahead and actually done battles in those episodes. I mean, they sort of vaguely did. Doomsday Machine's a good example, but they never quite went full steam ahead, you know?
yeah.
I wish they had really committed. And again, I'll back in a sec, but maybe talk about some of the, like, Enterprise battles, because, I mean, we're sort of ignoring, but really Voyager Enterprise, the latest of the shows, they had the most battles. Like, if you break them all down, I assume.
Yeah. So, guys, I mean, what do you think about Voyager or Enterprise? I mean, Enterprise did have some good ones. And Matthew, we know the backgrounds are blurry. We use Skype blur our background to do that, so we're just messing around with it. I'm just trying to think of any specific ones. So, you guys have any Enterprise or Voyager ones? Call them out. It's 8472. Yes, that's a good, some good ones there. Azadi Prime was always an iconic battle. Yeah, I would agree with that. Azadi Prime was good. First Real Space Battle was one of my favorite episodes of all time. Balance of Terror. Yeah, Necroglobule. We've talked about that. We don't really consider it a space battle, though, because you don't see the ships doing the thing. You see the firing, and then you see... You don't see the ships like veering off or whatever. So we consider it a battle, but we don't consider it a battle for the purposes that we're talking about. So, and Eugene puts in 1,000 rubles. Thank you very much. Favorite Star Trek battles? Court battles, of course. Drumhead, Measure of Man, Death Wish. Haha. Space battles are kind of meh. Star Trek is neither hard science fiction nor space opera for space battles to be of primary entertainment value. Well, you got all, like, fancy on us. Woo. That's okay. I think Deep Space Nine really brought the battles to the forefront as far as that goes. The huge fleet battles were pretty intense. TOS Ultimate Computer, again, it's kind of iffy. I mean, the remastered does it a little bit better as far as showing... I think one of the best battles in TOS, of course, was Doomsday Machine, but... Are you showing footage or just still images? ER is yelling. Just still images because we don't want to get DMCA'd by CBS. Besides which, we don't have everything queued up and ready to go. So we're just kind of... Yeah. Battle with NX-01 and aquatics against reptilians and insectoids. Star Trek Beyond battles. I'm going to say no. It's just a big swarm attacking the Enterprise. It's not really a battle, per se. Do you remember the episode? Don't remember the episode, but it was when the Klingons opened up on each other in TNG. Yesterday's Enterprise is the best TNG battle. Really? The one we never saw with the Enterprise C, or where the Enterprise does this and like turns while like it gets shot by a couple birds of prey and destroys one, and no one flies through that's not really a dynamic battle. But Valkyrie 417 puts in $5. Thank you, very appreciated. I like it when Archer smacks the shit out of Duras and the 3 birds of prey. Let's see what's going on here. DS9 space battles are some of the best in all of Star Trek. Yes. And the commander crawls through the Calkins conduit, cross-wiring the render farm to the view screen and subspace transceiver. Okay, then. Captain Foley, I must disagree. Best TOS battle was versus Romulans. I mean, yes, as an overall battle goes, submarine warfare, yes, absolutely. But we don't see the ships doing anything battle-like. That's what we're talking about here. So I agree with you, but I disagree with you because it's visually not a dynamic battle. Boring. It cloaks and fires on the view screen and then cloaks again. You don't see them like the ships doing things. At least in Doomsday Machine, you see the Doomsday Machine fire, and then you see the Enterprise like doing strafing runs on it. So everybody's coming in here yelling balance of terror, so I'm just gonna stop talking because apparently I don't know what I'm talking about. And yeah, it is impressive how good those DS9 battles still look after 25 years. We'll totally agree with that. DS9 battles are complex but lack suspense and focused, kind of like two men shooting each other compared to massive CGI armies clashing. You can't focus on anything. Yeah, and as Samuel said, the stuff in the background is just doing nothing half the time. But you're a captain and I'm a fleet captain. Follow orders, mister. What did I miss, Chris? Don't forget the Romulan drone battles in Enterprise Season 4. Those were pretty badass. Yeah, I guess. If you say so.
Hello.
Hi. Just talking about the Romulan the drone battle in Season 4 of Enterprise.
Yeah.
Ducking and weaving and bobbing and
it's amazing how effortless that looked, even though you'd never seen that before. You know?
Is it true they used the bird of prey Hallmark Christmas ornament because it was so accurate and they're small and they're a good size and they blew them up? So yes, that is very true.
I mean, they put so much thought and effort and fun into those. You know, or speaking of, I know someone mentioned Message in a Bottle earlier. You know, which is like one of the one of the two battles in the Alpha Quadrant in Voyager.
Yeah.
Obviously, I like the battle a lot. Although it's more of a backdrop battle because it stays focused on Prometheus and you sort of see some extraneous things. I kind of wish that Prometheus, you know, we actually seen it do something, like actually in action. You know, what could it actually wreck shop or not? Yeah.
And Ryan, no, nobody gave us $100 during the live stream. That's 100 rubles, which
is less.
Yes. I'll do the conversion here.
$20, I think.
Something like that.
It's got a big one.
1,000. Yeah, that's $20. $20.42.
Amazing, Eugene, you're amazing. So, if we got 1,000 though, we'd lose 300 to YouTube, which is a good day for YouTube. But that would like cover a massive amount of our monthly whatever. So if you want to donate 1,000, feel free. No, Messenger Battle's funny because I've sort of deconstructed that battle with Rob Wonshoon, who helped to work on the battle, and they really misscaled those ships to make it work. The battle is not as you think. It's all perspectives and such. Although I actually saw this, cause I like the Enterprise era Bird of Prey. You know, I like how it's represented in the show, in its battles, quote unquote, because it's always very effective. It can fire a lot of guns, but it's very maneuverable. It's a very balanced balanced ship. But one thing I found interesting is that you're meant to not be able to fire phasers at warp, right? That's a whole big thing.
Yeah.
So in Message in a Bottle, Prometheus fires phasers, and then the Wonshoon fires back.
Mm-hmm.
And in Enterprise, I never quite clocked one until now. The NX-1 fires phasers back at some Orion ships that are chasing it, firing phasers, and it's like, but you can't fire phasers at warp. That's like one of the latest or one of the earliest times in Trek canon, so I guess you can fire phasers at warp.
Yeah. Ian Warrender puts in £5. Best Star Trek battle: the fans when anything new happens, or insurrection minus the manual control. Hey, the manual control joystick was pretty awesome. I actually have that joystick
Do you
somewhere.
actually?
It was, yeah, one I had for my old computers for my flight simulator. It's the exact same one. So when it popped up, I was like, seriously? Really?
So you've kept that because it's now a canon prop for the
Oh,
Enterprise E.
it's, yeah, it's somewhere around here. Fleet Paw Swift Pack puts in $1.99 and says, just got called in, I suppose, to work. Good night, everyone. Or
Have
good
a
night,
great
y'all.
day.
Good night. Thank you very much. And Eugene puts in another 1,000 rubles.
Amazing, sir.
Okay,
Oh.
let's rephrase, he says. Space battles are only as good as the plot behind them.
Hmm?
In that sense, Death of USS Odyssey is better than second battle of Chintoka. By the way, what do you think about the battle bubble attack pattern Greek letter number? I love the attack pattern delta omega whatever. I'd like having different inputted, maneuvers. That I think it's great. And it
Yeah.
sounds fancy.
Yeah, no, it's like the classic maneuvers. Although you would assume at this point every ship knows every other ship's classic maneuvers. You know, oh look, they're doing
Yeah.
battle, being number alpha. Let's do gamma to counter it. Let's do defense mode gamma. You know,
Yeah.
you always think it's like a lightsaber battle. You know, the classic old Republic ones where it's not a visceral thing. If you watch the first three trilogy, prequel movies, it's attack, parry, parry, parry. Everything is a parry because you've got these heightened senses of lightsaber combat. You can sense what they're going to do, you know how to counter it, and you keep going until you have the ability to exploit a weak spot. And you're changing how your attack form is to counter theirs, and it's all this big dance. It's never until you get to later films where it's just like, I'm just going to hit you and stab you and hit you and it's a dance, So you imagine in a lot of space combat, especially if you know each other's maneuvers, you're just maneuvering over each other, trying to find that pattern. Yeah.
Makes it like a chess match. That's Chenchi. And yes, it does, because there's basic, formulas for a math game as well. Certain gambits and things like that. I don't even know the names of them, but so yeah, absolutely. Plus, just a quick way of giving your crew orders as to what you need the ship to do, and chances are the alien doesn't know what you're gonna do. So, I almost forgot. Troy, Elena Troyes, warp in, Scotty, full power to shields. I mean, yes, these TOS ones that we're talking about, there's very little seen on screen. Yes, they're great battles, back and forth. Especially Balance of Terror has been brought up a few times when you left. It's like, yeah, it was one of the best battles, but in a submarine enclosed in the ship kind of vibe. There was no ships ducking and diving and avoiding fire, and you know what I mean? Like, that's one of the reasons that I don't consider it one of the best battles as far as visually, which I think is what we're going for here. Gmon78 puts in £5. Why do you think there's been so little space battles in Discovery when they surely have the bigger budget for stuff like that? It's a very good question. Same reason there was hardly any beauty passes or shots of the ship in season 1, because they just don't care. Or know what to do with it, would be my guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's battles serve a thematic purpose if you use them right, or they can just be something you cut in between stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the way they did the Wrath of Khan battles, and every shot is important. Every shot is a pace. Every shot is a thing. But Discovery's always had weird balances. You can easily argue, well, our show's not about space battles. And it's like, well, it's not. But why do you crap space battles? I mean, the binary star is one of the worst battles in Trek. It's absurd, really, how bad it is.
Well,
whoever thought going pew 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 was smart is not doing great.
Yeah, and see, the Battle of the Mutaran Nebula with Kirk and Khan is essentially the exact same battle as what we see in Balance of Terror. Very submarine, like Z minus 10,000 meters and all this. But you get the visuals, you get the exterior visuals that you're missing from Balance of Terror. You get the internal compartmentalized submarine vibe inside, and then you immediately cut to the outside and you see the ships doing the thing. In Balance of Terror, you don't really get that. You get the internal stuff. You get shots of the Enterprise firing, and then like explosions going off like flak in the water, or depth charges almost. And you don't see. It's not dynamic, and that's one of the reasons I'm not including or the Battle of Balance of Terror in this thing. So, anyway, I'm done. The Adamo maneuver is one of the best scenes in all of TV. Okay, Jeff. In Voyage's caretaker, they don't have enough firepower to take out the large ship, but in Basic Part 1, they seem to take some of the larger ships out. In Basics Part 1. Don't know what he means.
Basics Part 1. Who said that?
Dan 23. Yeah.
Well, Basics Part 1, was that... Which one was that?
I have no idea. And that's why I'm sitting here like kind of trying to play.
I thought it was the one with the Kazon. Yeah, it's the Kazon. They don't take out too much. The whole point about the caretaker array is it had uber ultra mega super special armor. It was designed not to be destroyed, and so they used their special torpedo that you never saw again. It's quite... Wouldn't you think, right? They have the plans. They already have the launchers that can do it. Why aren't they going out their way to try and get the raw materials to build another one?
Because it suffers from Voyageritis. Nothing that happens one week impacts the next. Yeah. Which is really bad for that series. If that series, beyond more than any of the other ones, should actually follow the trope of building on what happened last week.
Yeah, that would be useful.
There's just the overarching, we need to get home. Yay, there were Kazons once. Yay, the phage. Like, you get these little things, but you don't get the main, some very important things like character development and people going through traumatic experiences and then being fine in the next week. Just... Best space battle that happened but didn't happen is Enterprise D versus a Derridex class Warbird. Yeah, that would be a really good one to see visualized and brought to life for sure.
That is weird they didn't do that.
Yeah, there were so many times where it almost happened. Like they were like standing in the ring, both of them, and it's like,
Well, that's the difference between Picard and other captains. It was fighting at all, fighting was the last thing to do. Voyager was arm torpedoes. Enterprise was get us out of here, arm torpedoes. Picard, it was like, can we talk about this?
Yes. Ventress 55, 2 pounds. Big shout out to James Horner Battle Music. Yes, some of the best battle music ever, I would assume.
Very, very true.
Yes. Spino Breaker, even though it's Spino Breaker, but it's Spino Breaker because that was told so. $5 Australian. Easily the best when the Ori attacked the Voyager, tried to fight them off. Hallowed are the Ori. What?
Did you know about that, Stuart?
That's Stargate by the sounds of it.
Well, it's not. I mean, just look on the live. This is the battle he's referring to.
I'm looking at the live, and all I see is our favorite Trek battles.
I know. Because there's a thing called delay, Stuart. Because you remember this battle, don't you, from the show, I guess? Mike P. Welcome. I do try. And believing there's more good things to come. Takes a while to do, though. But yes, there is more.
Yes, and speaking of Avalon, tomorrow's live. You might want to tell them about that.
It's on Avalon, but we'll talk about it later. So yeah, you remember this battle, don't you, Stuart?
No, I do not.
Oh. look, it's what Spino said. Or attacking the Federation fleet and getting bloody up, and Prometheus firing torpedoes. It's nice. And
Mm-hmm.
why are you looking at me like that? Doesn't look
Just
epic.
because that must have been one of the ones that was deleted from history.
They were like, wow, we haven't got the rights to this. If we had this battle in the episode, we'd lose. We'd lose millions in yeah. That was him.
Interesting.
Wanting to see the picture. So yeah. But I think there's some really good battles in Voyager. You know, at least some good scope and some well executed.
Okay.
What?
Son of a red shirt. You have in bold typeface our favorite Star Trek battles, but you won't include Balance of Terror or Mutara Nebula. I did include Mutara Nebula.
So did I? Yeah.
Yes, and Balance of Terror we acknowledged, but as for a visually dynamic battle, it's not really a thing.
And as
so
you
it's
said,
been acknowledged.
And as you said very, very eloquently, it's more of a cat and mouse chase.
And it's essentially that, and Balance of Terror and the Battle of Mutara Nebula are the same battle. Very submarine-esque, but just done a little bit differently. So
yeah, stylistically certainly. But if you think about it, does the Enterprise even get a shot off in the first bit when it hits them? Because doesn't the Enterprise, as soon as the Romulans fire its first plasma, it like warps away until the plasma can't hurt it enough, and then it chases after a cloaked ship. So does the Romulans ever fire again at the Enterprise after that?
Yeah, they fire another torpedo. I think the first one hits them quite a big impact.
Okay.
I'd have to watch the battle again, but yeah, and then the second one they back away from.
Because
it barely has any effect.
Because after that, it's just the Enterprise shooting at where they think it's going to be. You know what I mean? Like I said, cat and mouse chase is the best way of saying it. It's not so much a battle as a tactical engagement at the most.
Yeah.
If that was a scimitar, now that would be a battle. You know, wouldn't even stand a chance.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
I don't know. There's been so many good ones in all the series.
But as you said, a lot of the battles are hit and counter. So if you include that, then all these 3-shot battles. It's like the epic. Like I'm remembering when in TNG, when the houses, Garon's being trying to be overthrown by Duras, and his Vulture's just sort of sitting there, and then 2 Katingas come in and shoot at him, and Enterprise leaves, and it cliffhangers on it being shot at. Is that an epic battle, or is it just kind of cavorts shooting a Vulture? You know what I mean? Like, where is the line?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's obviously a battle, but if that's the extent of the battle, is that worthy of our battle list? That's why the DS9 ones are really very epic, because it's also flowing, especially as I mentioned, that one where they're attacking the outpost on the moon. That's a fully realized battle from start to finish. There is actually a complete progression. If you look at Sacrifice of Angels and stuff, it's mostly just abstract shots threaded together. What do you get? It's obviously getting the Defiant through the lines, but beyond that, there isn't necessarily a focus to it.
Well, yeah, exactly. And Barry says M5 battling other Connies. As I said, that was mainly in the remaster. You see anything good there? And even that's not super dynamic. So,
although in a similar vein to being dynamic, but it's kind of the opposite. If you remember the Warrior battle, that is ultra dynamic with a station that's not moving. But that's very much a battle, because it is shot, counter, retreat. But because the station's staying still, all the time effort goes into moving one set of ships and doing lots of great cutaways. So it feels epic, and the dialogue's good, and the pace is really good. Although, does it not make a bit of a mockery if 2 torpedoes to a Katinga can blow it up? And it's like, what? What about the shields? What about the hull integrity? Why is this that good?
Don't forget the all good things with the Enterprise X.
Enterprise X.
Phaser lancing right through
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been a great battle.
Would you consider that a battle, or was that just?
Well, that was an annihilation.
Yeah. So Foley's definition of dynamic, pretty to look at. Visually dynamic, yes. Okay, I'm getting kind of annoyed. Yes, the one in Balance of Terror is a very dynamic battle. It's very but we're not talking about that specifically. Battles that look good on screen. Some of our favorite battles. Mine just don't. Mine involve ships doing things. So I'm just not going to get that frustrated.
It's one of those things where we can't appease everyone. We're just having a conversation and trying to break it down. Obviously everything is a battle.
Yes, battle for air every day. If you remember,
yeah, battle to get out of bed. Yeah, if you remember the battle, where the Discovery fires one torpedo and disables Giorgio's shuttle, the battle of the random nebula with the torpedo. Well, something was fired and it was exploded. It's a battle. It's like it is technically a battle. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's tricky, but things like Balance of Terror is more a tactical situation, but. Just upping it that one level to Mutara Nebula style, where it's being realized on screen. I don't think, for example, if there was a battle in Star Trek, right? Say TNG, right? And all of the exteriors are out of budget, so everything's related via the inside. They're saying, Worf says, "I'm firing a full spread torpedoes," and Picard's like, "Do a quick turn," and we see them go. And then we hear, we go to engineering, we hear powers down 10%, and you hear this epic battle, but you don't see anything. What we're talking about is that's not a realised battle. It could be an epic battle, just not the epic visual battle we're trying to say. Because Mutara Nebula works very well, because it is realised, and it's achieving the scope it's going for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although really it's two battles. Well, really, it's just wounding each other, then a battle, and the battle really is just a chase. As you said, it's really just a chase.
Yes. Spinal Breaker puts in another $5 Australian.
Oh, thank you.
To be honest, tactical stuff makes a good battle. Not everything needs to be explosions and phasers. It's much more about strategy as anything else. Yes. Absolutely.
That's someone mentioned it already, but if you recall, in E2, the Enterprise, it's shot as episode. There's two Enterprises, Future Enterprise and Present Enterprise, and the whole battle is them sort of like doing turns around each other, trying to shoot each other's power grids. And that's a great battle because it's tension. There's that you understand it, and it's got some cool visuals, but it's not like uber dynamic in terms of. It's very simplistic in terms of the strategy, but it's got a great tension to it. It's got a great vibe to it. So that is a fun battle. There's stakes, and also strategy. You're just trying to disable each other. Max Volume says, "I'm poor. It's okay. So are we, and can't afford super chats. Hopefully, my watching every show stream and liking is sport enough. It actually is." Mr.
Speaking
Volume.
of likes, everyone hit like. I don't know where we're sitting at likes, but we have 166 people watching, so should be well over 100 likes by now.
Click that like button. Click it. Like. Click it, like.
I guess we should have. Our title should be favorite battles or visualized battles, I guess. So we need to change the title.
It's a bit of a.
Fair enough. Yeah, the whale hunters versus the whale in Star Trek 4. That was a great battle.
Yeah.
Temporal anomaly battle. No, anything in that is just crap.
Thanks, man. He said that.
Oh, what's his?
Fine, I'll look. Yay, Bill! Woo! I could actually play that battle, couldn't I? Because I own that footage.
You could, and that would make for something to look at. Cause somebody complained that somebody yelled when you were gone. Are you showing any clips or just a static image? And they yelled it, so because it was all capitals.
But if we showed visuals, we'd get striked, and we wouldn't earn any money off this, and then that would not support the channel, and then we'd lose the channel, and then we'd have to not do this, and then you'd all not have anything to watch. That'd be sad. I feel like.
Yes.
And we can show pictures, But the problem is that's me doing the work, and I was already editing today, and I'd have to spend like an hour, 2 hours going through 100 things. It's really tricky to do that. You know, that's why you get the episodes, because the episodes are where the stuff is.
But you're gonna play. You're gonna play a battle for us to look at while we're talking.
I will. I has a battle, and I own everything about it, so I can even put the music in. And yes,
and then
you guys...
you're gonna copyright strike us. Power 543 fan films copyright strike your.
And then you'll do a complaint video about it. You know.
My personal channel, and I'll include clips from this live stream, and then that'll get copyright struck by Power 543 fan films.
Yeah.
And you're going to use clips in your rebuttal video, so I can copyright strike your fan film channel. It'll be fun.
It'll be fun. It'll be a war, and I'll lose.
It'll be a battle, so to speak.
So, guys, if you have not seen Temporal Anomaly, I'm really still sad I didn't call it Star Trek Temporal Anomaly, or also wasn't allowed to, but it was intended to be called that. So haha. This is the battle I choreographed for the. The problem is spoilers. I'm gonna have to. Hold on. I'm gonna have to get the footage, not the actual battle, because the battle cuts to interiors, and interiors reveals stuff. Because everyone should go watch Temporal Anomaly. I started a fan film. My fan film I've been working on since 2013. Please do go watch that. And this is an excerpt of the battle, one of the battles, and there's strategy in this, and there's thought. I'm bringing it up. Don't worry. And it's only it's only like 27 seconds of visuals, even though it took me weeks to render. That's great. Show a clip, but do it down to 1 frame per minute. Yeah.
That'd be boring.
Okay, so ready?
Yes.
Although it's the. Oh. So yeah, it's doing things. Phasers and torpedoes.
Eugene puts in 500 rubles. Mine is the one at the end of.
Oops.
Mine is the one at the end of the Kier Shara episode. NX01 got wrecked, even though both parties didn't pay much attention to her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some good ones in Enterprise, actually.
Yeah, they had a lot of time. Thanks, guys, from Ron Phillips. He was indeed.
Ian Warrender puts in £2. 100 likes. Thank you for the community. Thank you to the community and for the community. And Jeff Jacobs puts in $3. Finally, 100 likes. I will go again at 150.
Yeah.
Make me pay. We're at 164 people watching. I don't think we'll get 150 likes. I think that's impossible for everyone to click like. I don't see it happening.
The fans just can't do it, Haven't got the ability.
That's so cool, seeing the Connie doing things.
Yeah. But hopefully not outside of its realm of possibility.
No, not at all.
I never try to push it too far. I thought it's it could still maneuver. That's why I was very keen to. Connie versus Intrepid, pretty one-sided fight. That was an OMG battle. Well, the thing is, each ship was severely damaged by the temporal anomaly, so I was very, very carefully worked out who was capable of what and why. Because yes, you're right. I mean, EU should be a take on anything, but that's why you have to build in these clever things. Like you said, the shields are down. Okay, phew. Now we can actually have a battle.
Yeah.
It's like Nemesis. Oh, we have to invent 3 new Nerixians to help. Otherwise, there's no battle. Sometimes these things just had to be written in. And who said?
How do you guys feel about The Expanse?
I have no feelings.
I haven't started watching The Expanse yet. It's on my list. It's going to be starting soon.
It's on my list too. And thanks, Dale. Thanks, Roberto. Ooh, Dale Strafford. The battle of Foley versus Cockings. Well, it'd be Horizon versus Foley, I guess. But again, probably a one-sided fight. Hello?
Yes.
Did you hear what I said?
No, I didn't. You cut off.
Oh, so did you? I said, someone said there should be Foley versus Cockings, so that's really the Foley class versus the Horizon. I said, that's quite a one-sided fight.
How so?
My ship's 150 years more advanced.
So?
Okay.
Mine's the Foley class.
I have quantum torpedoes. One quantum will just obliterate your shields.
I'm a dreadnought. I've got 8 forward-facing torpedo tubes and 2 rear-facing torpedo tubes. Just saying.
I have 5 forward and 2 aft.
So, sheer numbers, I win.
Yeah. Good luck with Mark 6s, and I've got Mark 18s. But we've talked about this, seriously. Like, we still would love to do a narrative stuff with Foley and Horizon, you know. They're kind of there begging for it, aren't they, really?
Nobody would care. Nobody would watch it. But they are begging for it.
Some would, yeah. No one cares and no one wants it, but they're all begging for it, yeah. And yes, I'm just playing Temporal Anomaly, because you should all go watch Temporal Anomaly, because I can actually show them.
Gmon 78 puts in £5. I've clicked like 3 times. Every time I check, it's unliked again.
That's great. I like that. Oh, and Dale, you're bedbound. Sorry about that. Hope you get well very soon. And thanks for. Hopefully, we can keep you entertained and make your night better. Hopefully.
Oh, he was talking about the copyright strike battle specifically.
Yeah. And Dale's also saying he meant the battle. And Tony says my favorite battle is the one we just watched.
Cap, you may need a refit on the full. Or the refit is a thing that'll happen. Don't worry.
Do the TNG version. You know, make a comparable ship to the Horizon.
Well, I definitely could do that.
Or it'd just be a dreadnought, wouldn't it? I mean, I don't know how you'd do too much else.
Well, I have an idea for the Foley class in that era. So,
because the idea of the thing that makes Foley bonus unique is the fact that it can separate its saucer and still all capable. But as soon as you go into the later eras, that becomes later eras. That's not exactly a prize thing. So what would set that apart, especially?
3 nacelles.
Oh, is that it?
Yep. And multi-super vector assault mode, because it can like turn on a dime, and when it separates, the saucer part starts spinning around the secondary hull, and it creates like a big, huge super weapon, and then can destroy a planet, and then it stops spinning and reattaches and moves on. That's a thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, this makes sense to me.
Super Goops. It's in £2. Later, guys. I have to go enjoy the chat. Thank you. See you later.
Thanks, Mechanic Steve. Appreciate that so much. I do like this shot of my E. Mike P. Nah, I'm alright. But hey, if Discovery wants to hire me, would you upscale the Foley or keep it like a small dreadnought, like a lot of power in its chassis sort of thing, or actually make it more of a Enterprise D scale?
I'd upscale it. Not quite as big as the Enterprise D though. That's a little too big. But I'd have like the Enterprise E style nacelles on it, maybe refined a little bit.
Well, it depends. Where would you put in the timeline? Like, where would you bring this thing back? Or
where's the Horizon? Where's the Horizon?
Where do you think it is? I have told you before.
Wherever it is where mine would be. Built right beside it.
Great. I was going to say something there. But it's interesting actually if you think about the if you did put it in a TNG version, then
Yeah.
the designers that in the other timeline they said, "Hey, we're going to update the Galaxy class to make it a dreadnought." The same designers who never got the chance because that was not the path they went down in this timeline. They might have said, "Hey, let's make a Foley class. Let's use this other rough design for a tuna cell ship. Let's make it a dreadnought too." I can see that kind of working.
Uh-huh. So Sylvia's commenting in the chat now.
I think what she means is the Foley class's third nacelle is magic.
Oh yeah, that middle one.
It's big and it creates massive, intense warp fields. Everyone it touches.
You're lucky she can't hear you right now.
Well, she's watching the live, surely.
Well, she's not watching the live. She's listening to my end of the conversation. That's about the Foley class. So she's
penis. Mike P, thanks. I like working making.
By any chance, are we going to see the Foley class in any fan film anytime soon? We can neither confirm nor deny.
Let's just say that if everyone goes and supports this Indiegogo right now, that'd be great. But seriously, go support the Demons Indiegogo now. It's a alternate TOS, modernized. I've put a lot of time and effort into doing new Klingon ships. There'll be, if things go according to plan, there'll be some really fun Federation stuff as well, beyond just the Connie. I'm doing all the effects, so it's definitely worth it, and literally every bit of money is really important to that film. There's some really good perks, so it isn't just a donate, it's a get cool perks. And they're at 51% of their goal. 5 days left. We're going to have them on live tomorrow. Hopefully both of the primary leads behind the project will be on to chat about the project. And like I said, definitely worth a donate, because it's a damn worth project. And I'm quite heavily involved, and knowing the two films after that they'd like to do, I'm not going to say they will do because it involves support for all three. The plans are really interesting, and you can imagine me being on board. I sort of push things a little bit, even further. And so I'm really, guys, go support if you can. Please do. Please do.
Mm-hmm. Yes, please do. Be fun talking to them tomorrow about it if they can make it on the show. So.
Yes.
Oh man.
Not confirm or deny who, what, where might appear in that film.
Yes. Spinal Breaker says, what would be the Foley class or the Sylvia class? The Sylvia class. Very ample nacelles on that one.
And no Y.
And no what?
No letter Y.
And no letter Y in Sylvia. She'll break your legs.
Oh.
But yeah, ample nacelles and a nice shuttle bay.
And very powerful tractor beams.
Yes. Yes. This one off the rails really quick. Battles. There were battles where things were shooting at things.
Ian, I did, but I'll do it again.
What did you did?
It says add a link to Indiegogo. I did. I also had one from the Trekyards, because then it's easy to see. But, yes. Okay, Stuart, side question. What battles don't you like? Like, what ones just never quite connected to you for whatever reason, do you think?
To be fair, the one from First Contact is kind of lame. There's not much going on. You got one cube, and we're still having issues defeating in one cube. Technically, the Borg should have taken over the Federation at that point, because that's just sad.
Yeah.
Let's see what else is there.
And Robert Hayes, I watched the Avalon thing, and you killed the best character off in the second episode. That was a bummer. There's reasons for everything, Robert. There's reasons for everything, and that shouldn't be the only reason not to give, because everything else about it is cool. So, and there's.
It doesn't mean people. It's Star Trek. People come back. Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, wasn't Tasha Yar more interesting after her? Tashiar
No, she was not.
appearance.
She was never interesting.
No, but she's more interesting as well, she's more interesting in her
And yesterday
yeah.
Enterprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you kill her and she becomes more interesting. But it's interesting about the First Contact, because like I say, it needed. I know they were intending a bigger battle, but it kind of needed more. It needed, if they had real budget, well, if they'd still had the A bridge, which obviously had been reused for all those movies and reused as the Battle Bridge and the Ambassador Bridge, all the other bridges in TNG, if they'd kept that bridge set, they could have remodeled that into several different ships and be able to cut to, you see an Ambassador ship fly around, cut to their bridge, and you get a few lines with their captain in old TNG. That ship blows up and you get like a fireball of death. So like you really like add some very visceral stakes to it. Even if it's just the old ship cannon fodder, you got the miniatures or do CGI, that would have been kind of cool. And you could have redressed that set to be 5 things in the course of a weekend,
There should have been a raging battle with many cubes, one of which gets destroyed that launches the sphere that goes through time. And as the Enterprise is following it, gets stuck in the wake. There should still be a huge battle happening in the background. Like there is still stake their mission in the present day, even though Earth is assimilated. You know what I mean? I think would have been better that way.
That's interesting.
I
mean, that's the problem with having a cube that sort of just sits there and goes pew, pew, pew. I mean,
then gets blown up, launches another sphere, and then the sphere, as soon as it goes through time, 3 or 4 quantum torpedoes and kaplowy, it's done too. It's like, really?
Well, it hasn't got shields. I think was the reason.
And I was just watching Parallels before I came down to do this live, and the ship was taking damage at the end. This is where Worf's the commander and Riker's the captain of the Enterprise D. And they're talking about damage on deck 42.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
And yeah, something about deck 42, and then the next like a couple lines later, damage to decks 16 and 34. It's like, okay. I mean, just wow.
Oops.
I should have written those lines down because.
Oops. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what battle that doesn't work for you. Because most of them I enjoy on some level because battles are cool.
It's it's not the same thing necessarily being disappointed, but in Star Trek 6, the battle at the end, I absolutely adore the shot where the Excelsior and A are both shooting torpedoes at the bird of prey, but the fact it's not moving, the fact that it's just taking it, always felt a bit, not anticlimactic, but antithetical to what they're trying to do. Chang is a very smart cookie. And the fact that, that torpedo is flying and coming after them, but the fact that they weren't moving implies they weren't moving at all. You would assume, really, you should be seeing some cool maneuvers, and he could still fire while cloaked. He maybe could have done a reverse thing and fired at that torpedo. Whereas really it's just a case of, oh no! Don't do evasives! Whatever you do, guys, no evasive maneuver! And then we won't move. You know what I mean? It all this energy goes because of the limitation of the shots. You can't move these ships without severe effort. Whereas just sort of put it in space, there we go, cool, we did this one pass. And then the other 2 ships, cool, we did this one pass, and nothing's really moving. That battle's fun in terms of the cool impact of it, but it doesn't connect particularly well until that last shot. So does that make sense? Or am I coming? Does that not make sense? What do you think?
I mean, sort of makes sense. I see what you mean, but it took him by surprise, first of all, that the torpedo was actually tracking them. And I think it was a fairly quick thing that happened, so I don't think he really had much time to react. Or even really, because he was overconfident. He thought, well, we're invisible. They can't see us. We're fine. I don't know.
I just think a very trained tactician, you know, isn't going to blink as much as he did. I just think that was a slight flaw.
Great reuse of the Klingon ship blowing up in Generations. Not. Yeah, they reused that shot multiple times, and the Klingon like flying through the corridor.
Yeah. And
Getting
Enterprise, same thing. They just, yeah, doesn't quite work.
You guys drunk? I wish.
Do you want me to get you a drink?
No, not right now.
Okay.
No, we kind of respond to the chat, and the chat is good, but it's not quite, you know, today. That's fine. You know, can't always be amazeballs. So you know, we're not the highest of energy, are we?
And Eugene doesn't like the Foley class, and that's fair. Not everybody likes everything. Not everybody likes 3 nacelled ships for some reason. I think they're fantastic, but whatever.
Some people didn't like the Horizon because it had 6 nacelles. I'm like, that's not its most important feature. It's like it's just all sort of integrates together, and it's got a reason. Just like 3 nacelles got a reason. That's why I loved seeing your well, when Barry made it for you, I should say, when it all separates apart, because that's a nice, you know, it's not elegant, but it's a very functional solution to a problem. It's like, ooh, it all connects and interconnects. I was like, oh, that's neat.
Mm-hmm. It needs some refinement, but I'm thinking.
Bill Barkley, has anyone mentioned Discovery battles?
Yes, all of them.
See, I just thought for a second, oh, the battle above, not Praxis, not Binar, Pavo. There you go.
Pavo, yeah.
But it's not even a battle. It's the Klingon ship fires like 2 shots. Discovery jumps around a bit, stops their cloak, jumps in front of them. The Klingon doesn't do anything. They shoot 4 torpedoes and it blows up the entire ship. It's not really a battle. Like, it looks cool, but you know, everyone seems stupid in that maneuver except Discovery. You know, they're either, you can tell the writers are like, yeah, we have to destroy this ship somehow. Let's just do this. Cool, it's out of the show now.
There is a battle where Discovery jumps to that mining colony and takes out the birds of prey, and then jumps away at the very end. That's kind of a battle.
Yeah,
like bring them in closer. Now, yeah,
that is a better one. Although again, it could just blow apart bird of prey like that, and it's like, you can't do that. I mean, so did DS9, but they were wrong too. It's like, yeah, I just don't like the logic of, if they did it wrong, we can do it wrong. It's like, just be smarter, you know, use thought, make plans. That's just me, you know. When I write battles, I try and make them thoughtful and strategy, and you know.
Yeah.
But that's just me, Stuart.
And no one cares about you.
I know. It is very sad, but you don't care that it's sad, so.
No, I don't.
Doesn't matter.
Gotta go. Thanks for the fun visualized chat. LOL. That sounded like sarcasm. Bye, Matthew.
Fun conversation we are. And I'm watching the Armada 2 battle sequence. If there's anything I can show from that. I love the different abstract battle moments in the Armada 2 intro. You know, where the Defiant launches its mind into a Deredex. That's an intelligent strategy. You know.
That's cool. That is a cool scene too.
And the Akira fires its chain reaction pulsar. Again, really, that should have been in the show. I think that would have been a really cool, although a bit of a gimmick to give any ship an ability, because why don't you just give that torpedo to everything else? Like, there's no reason to have ships with only, you know, you would have assumed that by a year, that every ship in the fleet could have quantum launchers. You know what I mean? You would think they could do, but it'd break the game, break the system. You know?
Yeah, yeah. And the Coromite shield thing was awesome. You are rubber, I am rubber, you are glue. What you say to me bounces off me and sticks to you. Remember the Coromite shield on the Sovereign class ships? Everything that got fired at the Sovereign class when the shield was up bounced back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was like, what are you talking
okay.
about? In which movie is that in? Gee, I was not at all on Armada. I went right back. Oh, Brian.
Eugene puts in 500 rubles. I don't like the Foley class because I hate vertically mounted nacelles. Vertically mounted. Okay. Foley, Dreadnought, Galaxy X, Kelvin, Prometheus.
Hates the Promy too. So, okay. There you go.
Okay.
Insult to both of us, Stuart.
That's okay.
That's
It's fine.
okay.
And Mike Tamburini puts in £2. Hi again. Loved all the battles from Think Tank.
Hmm?
Ooh,
Yeah.
Think Tank. Yeah. Those are some good ones.
Also, kind of a Borg QB battle. Like it's a single thing that can't be defeated, and it's shooting, shooting, shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good one too. I know someone mentioned earlier, but the and again for its time, really amazing. The Battle in Dragon's Teeth, where Voyager's launching, flying out of the atmosphere. That's a pretty elaborate sequence, and in atmosphere, it's cool. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
All these little gnats shooting its little crappy guns. Okay,
Yeah.
Side question: would you consider the it being a battle in this context, where from Enterprise, when the shuttle pod is attacking the fighters?
Oh, and the P-51 Mustangs.
With energy weapons, yeah.
That's cool because that's like a dogfight.
Yes.
And dogfights are dynamic and cool. That's one of the reasons yeah. And plus, I'm a huge fan of P-51 Mustangs. So, sure. I mean, there's not much that goes on, though. They get shot at, and then it gets cut till the next season.
Well, no,
and then...
Well, yeah. But, I mean, they do a bit where, it flies back around and shoots more and,
Yeah.
It does do a couple of things.
I would consider that a Star Trek battle, for sure. Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
I liked it. Don't know if you'd count that or not.
I would. Best battle is when they hug the donkey. Yes.
Yeah. I also quite like the battle between the tactical Borg cube and Voyager. I mean, it's a very that's kind of almost like what a Borg cube battle should be. A fast movable ship trying to do lots of dodging, do lots of things, and just getting shot. It can't do anything to the cube, but it's more just pissing it off. What can it do? Not a lot, I kind of like that battle. And we've all got to call out the battle between Voyager and the Borg probe. It's called, we're going to shoot one torpedo, we're going to beam a torpedo in you and kill you. Excellent battle. Good victory there.
Oh.
I actually just forgot about what happened in Dragon's Teeth. But actually, Voyager fires 3 different phaser beams at the same time. I didn't realize it did that.
Yeah, well, I want to give a special shout out to Eugene because basically the amount of super chats he's put in this is like over $50 US, and that really means a lot. So even though you hate the Foley class, I'm gonna say thank you very much, Eugene, for hating the Foley class and for super chatting to tell me so. Please keep it up. You can insult anything you'd like in the Foley class. Just super chat away.
Yeah, I mean, you put your money where your insults are. It's great. No, thank you, Eugene. We don't ask for much in these chats, but you make up a nice chunky percentage, and it helps us go. We are packed lids to your donations, and we can keep going because of your help. Makes a huge difference, and we hope we entertain you.
Are you not entertained?
Probably not, but we hope we try at least.
Hey. Some days are better than others, I gotta say. I'm kind of run out of things to talk about today, specifically. So
yeah, me too. My stomach's getting better, but I was a bit distracted for the first 40 minutes, so it doesn't help. In Voyager's defense, it's a pretty OP torpedo. Well, it depends. If you hit it next to the warp core, then I can see it being an easy win.
Trekyards. Mike P puts in $1. Thanks very much, Mike P.
Still love your dude with the beard. The Liploridon. That's what I'm going for, and you can't change my mind. Do you like the battles episodes when the hero ships are really taking punches and damage, like Gear of Hell, Azadi Prime, and Third Chintoka? What do you think?
I didn't hear any of that because you cut out.
Okay. The Leopardrum. Trekyards, do you like battle/episodes where the hero ships are really taking punches and damage, like Year of Hell, Azadi Prime, and Third Battle of Chintaka?
Yes, because it ups the stakes.
Mm.
Although, I hate when it's like, 70% shields and, another hit and we're done for. Boom, 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 3 hits and they're not done for. It's like, wow, that's really inaccurate information. You're all fired. Dicks. Because that happens a lot,
Guys, why can't you count? That was 3 hits, not 1.
And I just broke a nail. That's all that happened. We're not destroyed.
Yeah. No, it's true. The nice thing about those battles is that normally, and look at shows, especially like DS9 as well, they just can't have lasting damage because every time it's all visual effects. So if someone phaser blasts you, really, there should be scoring, right? But that involves a custom texture on that part of the model, which you've got to keep track of in every single shot. And imagine the extra time and effort for each time it's got to look realistic and la la la. And so if you look at DS9 battles, every hit just sort of boom, boom, boom. I mean, it created a flare, but it's visceral. You get away with that stuff. Whereas in Discovery, it does the opposite. Discovery, they shoot, and even with shields up, there's a petrol explosion on the hull. And it's like, okay, sure. And it's petrol. It's not even like it's a flare of energy impact. Which would be fine. It's a whatever. So actually, those battles where they actually commit to damaging a ship are really impressive because they're properly choreographed. They're really thought through. They're intense. Even like the Enterprise D battle against the Bird of Prey. Although when we say battle, we mean taken like a bitch. Really, it's not really a battle, is it? I can't. No. That annoys me. I think it annoys all of us. But really, just one sustained phaser blast should have been able to get through the Bird of Prey's shields. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not a ship that can take hits.
And Necroglobule, if you just Googled it, then you haven't really seen it. Just so you know. He hasn't seen the Foley class before. He's obviously missed my live on it. But that's okay.
If I Google Foley class, what comes up?
Just my thumbnail for a new Dreadnought on the Block, and then somebody's deviant art take on it.
That's cool.
It's not a good shot of the ship, really, but... I mean, I got...
He's gone again. Gone again. He's gone again.
And the model really doesn't do justice.
And now he's back.
Hello, really?
Stuart.
Now I'm back. There you go.
How are you?
The model doesn't really do it justice, but there you go. Some shots of it. This is the best battle right here.
Exactly.
So if you don't like it, Necroglobule, that's fine. That's not a good picture of it. There's many more that I have that make it look a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ron Trowbridge. Star Trek 3 through 4 was the great way to deal damage and continuity damage. Yeah, but they were movies. Like, they had budget to have that. And also, it was the same physical miniature. They just painted the damage and kept it. I mean, it's a a movie where each shot, like if the battle is 6 shots and in 3 of them you get damage, I mean, it's just sort of the budget of the 3 shots. You know what I mean? That's just part of the budget of that shot creation. It's like Discovery when it got hit, which amazed us actually. Every time we gave them credit, and we had to take the credit away. When Discovery got hit by that big rock, and it sliced through the hull, like, ooh, damage to the... Oh no, it got fixed by next episode. Massive hull damage just got fixed. It's like, oh...
Yeah.
They can't even. The most expensive show in all Trek won't even have anything of continuing damage, which feels like a bit of a shame.
Yeah. And yes, Brian, I'm going to paint it. Don't worry. Sylvia's laughing at me because you said that because it's been sitting on the desk, on the table, not painted forever. Yeah, and as I said earlier, I do prefer the movie battles, not only because they're more cinematic in their scope, but because they do do that. They have damage that carries over to the next scene because they can afford to do that in a movie context. So even carrying over movie to movie, Star Trek 2 to Star Trek 3, that damage
Certainly.
carried over, which was awesome because they already have the model. It's already damaged. They said, we're not even going to bother fixing it. This happens a week later. It's fine. It's fine. Put some plates on there. Yeah, like they tried to fix it. Yeah.
Although Max says they did get the damage wrong though in Star Trek 3.
They did. That's because it's on the other side, but it could have been feedback or damage from internal damage that result. There's ways to explain that. Plus, there's a book that happens between the two where they get attacked by Klingons on the way back. That's where that damage comes from. So,
which is a great idea. Great idea.
Mike Tamburini puts in £5. How do I join you guys? I'd love to help. Love it all. How do you mean? How do you join us? One of us. One of us.
You're one of us by just being part of the conversation, But let us know how in the comments below because that's vague.
but you can join the Facebook group. There's great chats over there all the time if you're not a member already. Hit subscribe on the YouTube channel. It's a good way to join us. And just join us for the lives because we do them Tuesday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and sometime on the weekend. Haven't done any of the last 2 weekends because we've been busy, but anyway. I made up for that on Monday. Did one on Monday.
That's good. I watched some of it.
Keith Jeffrey, 1974, puts in £2. That's a lot of pew-pewing, Captain. Binary stars. Yes. It's pew pew.
It's amazing how no one said this battle has no weight to it. Because they could just replace the layers of the pew-pew with torpedoes and phaser beams. That's the easiest thing to replace. It's amazing no one said that. It absolutely boggles my mind some of the art decisions in that episode and just that season. We haven't really had battles in season 2 at all. None.
Not yet.
So, we've yet to see what they do in season 2. I'm intrigued. Really, if you think season 2's been quite a simplified season, back to basics, and everyone likes it more. What a shock!
Yeah, what a twist. Joseph Petrick puts in €2. Do not paint it on blue screen. It will have a cloak. Yes, that's very clever. Except for the shadowed parts. And Mike Tamburini puts another £5. I love the battle with the Culkins and Americans with the NX in the middle. The Culkins. What's that? And Americans. I must be missing the point. Samuel, do you know? Culkins and Americans with the NX in the middle.
I mean, no. Oh, does he mean Vulcans? I think he must mean Vulcans and Andorians, and just spell checked to not at all his words.
That makes a lot more sense in the context of Star Trek. Okay, yeah, that was good.
I enjoy those battles. Although it's sad to see, Vulcans fight Andorians and such. I think that we really missed a trick with Enterprise. I think they know it too. If we'd had the Romulan War, we would have had 2 to 3 NXs flying, all those secondary craft against Romulan ships. Would have been, if they'd done the thing with the rather than individual ships having cloaks, it'd be a cloaking field by a starbase, which I can buy. It creates a very distinct limitation, and then it's more a case of, because I know you like the old museum ships, the Romulan museum ships, so I could kind of buy that these massive hulking carriers have cloaks, they're ginormous, but they are, just big engines, and they're not elegant, and that's creating a cloaking field for the fleet. But actually in combat, they're completely ineffective, as there are 2 of them. And so, yes, you can cloak a ship in the Enterprise era, or a fleet, but it's with a really crappy carrier that's slow, ineffective, and is only good for one thing. So it's, whereas in post Enterprise, you can cloak a ship that small. That would be the sell I would do, for me anyway. Although, talk about, if you want Enterprise Season 5, check out The Romulan War on
Also
Indiegogo.
done by Samuel Cochrane.
I think at the end, I'll probably have something like 60, 70 battle shots.
Nice.
Yeah. Did 20 in the last one.
And-
let me let up one battle shot just to tease you
And
all.
Wake Roberts, I love what you did there. Oh boy. By Along for Enterprise Season 5. Is that like a Quantum Leap reference? Oh boy.
That's good.
Come on. If it's not, it should be.
I think that's a pretty good reference. Right, for a $5 American super chat, I will show you all a yet unseen Romulan War space battle VFX shot for $5 American US dollars. And this is going to be an epic one. Stuff you wish you'd seen in Season 5. $5! $5! $5!
$5 for an unseen battle slot? $5.
This is a finished shot, so it's all sexy, not just previs. I've got many previews, but I've got lots of finished ones too.
And now we wait.
Awkwardly wait. I mean, is there any battles you wish you had seen? If each show...
Battle of Wolf.
Battle of Wolf? What?
Battle of Wolf 359.
Yeah. But also would have been just massacre. Because, like you said, for First Contact, it would just be death, 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 death. Like, you couldn't... Like, that cube wasn't even remotely damaged. So I don't know if that would be a good-looking battle, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of any other ones, but Cuban Writer puts in $5 with no comment. Thank you very much, Cuban Writer.
Okay, so this is but don't tell anyone I released this.
Shh, secret.
Yes.
But here it comes.
So this is a ambush moment.
I can't see it.
I'll play it 3 times for everyone to enjoy. But yeah, let me know what you all think. Romulan War, Enterprise Season 5, done by Sam Clockens. What do you think, Stuart?
Mike P, your super chat of $1 did go through. Yes. I haven't seen it yet. It's still on delay.
Oh.
I see our favorite Trek battles.
Ah, thanks, no one special. But you are special. Oh. Huh. I didn't stop Premiere to be on yet. Oops.
Nobody's seen anything then, have they?
No. Hold on.
You dumbass.
Yeah.
All right. Number 1 special, because that's what you're now called, is $5 just to see Samuel's show. That's all it says. Show what?
Oops. Now it's playing, everyone.
And Mike Tamburini puts in £20. Thank you very much, Mike.
Goodness. That's a lot.
Okay, I've asked to join Facebook. I want to become an ensign on this team. I want to see more of anything from the similar war. What? The similar war.
And Stuart, do look alive because I'm playing on repeat now.
I'm watching it now. Pew pew. Ooh. We don't get to see the Romulan ship they're firing at.
Well, no, it's part of like a 14-shot battle, so you know. This is just the Federation counterattack maneuver. No Daedalus. They're a big part of the battle. Not in this attack force. They're in a different attack force doing a different mission at the same time. Believe me, this is all thought out. This is a specific attack maneuver. I've got Daedalus. Doing some things, just not in this shot. No Bill Buckley, not Temple Only Battle. This is something else. So yeah, what do you think, Stuart?
really impressive. I love the zoom in. It's like Battlestar Galactica.
You
You got shaky cam too?
Not really. No.
Good, as you shouldn't.
Yeah, it's all about balance. I thought that worked really well because you are focusing on this threat. So I thought it made sense to do a dramatic zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Dale. Love the Romulan ship. Yes, that I'm pretty proud of. Anyone else? Any comments? Because no one's commenting now. Any comments? No.
It's awesome. I want to see more. Show me
fans,
more.
but thank you.
Show me more.
But this was an
Show me
annoying
more.
one because everyone's moving on an axis. It's to kind of create cool motion, but no one's moving straight. And I sort of put myself into a really big hole when I'd done that because it's like, well, everything's now at this angle. Oops. And also, I was going to have everything work at different times, but he said, no, everything needs to work at the same rate because it's an attack maneuver. They've been training to do this attack run for weeks. And so have everything at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
They're the Federation at that point. No, they're not. Romulan War is before Federation.
Yes. Squadra Course puts in $5. Hey guys, I know the movie was meh, but I liked the battle at the end of Nemesis. It felt like we were really coordinating attacks, using tactics, etc. Yeah, we talked about that one quite a bit. That's one of our favorites as well.
It's a good battle. It's a very Star Trek by definition battle. You know.
And Eugene puts in 327 rubles. And it says, cool. The sum is $5 United USD. So just so you guys know, it's $5.
Thanks. And Bill Barker's the Cockings maneuver. No, that's the maneuver when they go. That's the temporal maneuver. I'll call the Cockings maneuver. This one's although I didn't build this. I didn't design this scene so much as he said ships come in, and I was like, cool. I'll make it do cool things. But I got to go to the thing again, so I'll let you sort of do a pre-closeout. I'll let you do like a final bye to the audience, and then we'll stop as soon as I get back. But you keep chatting for a minute, and I'll back in a minute.
Go away.
Oh, okay.
Mike Tamburini puts in £5. Sorry, Romulan War. I want to join Trekyards to be there with you two. What do you mean exactly? Join to be here with us. You're here with us now by chatting and super chatting and hanging out with the lives and joining the Facebook. And Darren, one of our admins and head of technology, is saying they'll do an after-action report for any battle on the Facebook page. If anybody wants to super chat $10 for that, whatever you want, they'll do an after-action report, which I'm not as sure what that entails exactly, Darren, but you'll have to let me know. Will it be animations? I don't think so, but yeah, because technology is a thing over on the Trekyards page. Just restarted. We talked about the technology of Star Trek, and Darren and the guys are doing a fantastic job. You need to check it if you haven't. Go do that. So if you want to see anything about an after-action report on a specific battle, let me know with a super chat. We can do that. So. And Mike, you meaning you want to be a mod on the channel, or you want to be an admin? Because if you're interested in working as a moderator on the YouTube channel for like the live videos, we could talk about that. Same with being an admin for the Facebook group, but you've got to talk to us, and you have to talk to Joe, the head admin, and kind of I have to get the go-ahead from him because he's the one that selects you guys for the administrators, because that's kind of his house, so to speak. So yeah. So if you guys can think of any more battles you'd like to talk about or anything, let me know. And Samuel will be back in just 1 second. So, and then we're gonna have to go because it's almost 2 hours. So this is the pre-closeout. and goodbye. Goodbye. We'll have to do a live on the Foley class, and then do another live on the Horizon class where you can talk to Samuel, ask him all the questions about designing that, etc., etc. Cap have some spotty audio every once in a while. Well, that's just because of the Skype connection. It's been kind of sketchy tonight, so I apologize. I want to be an admin too. Well, Derek, if you want to be an admin, you have to head on over to the Trekyards Facebook group and send me a private message. I'll direct you to Joe, and Joe will give you the questionnaire. He'll run you through your paces and see if you're what we're looking for. Yes, Ross. Yes. Did everyone else freeze? No. Joseph Petrick, 1 a.m. Need my beauty sleep. All right, well, see you later, Joseph. We're just closing out right now, so.
Perfect timing.
Yes.
Hi, Stuart.
Hi. You're back. Bye.
So what are you having for dinner then?
What am I having for dinner?
Yeah.
No goddamn clue.
Oh.
Haven't thought that far ahead.
You gonna buy anything in, or are you gonna make something? What do you think?
I don't think we have a mountain house, to be honest. I'd have to go get something. Takeaway, as you say. Even though it's takeout, but whatever. Get with the program.
I'm pretty sure we invented most things. I'm pretty sure we probably invented that too.
Oh, you invented most things. Oh, okay. I see how it is.
Well, we came first.
Oh, we invented most things.
In terms of our cultures. So, you know, American steals from us, and you steal from America. So, you know, all comes from us.
Wow.
Yeah, no, we should do more foods next time at your house, like trying different places.
Yeah, for sure.
That steak place
Absolutely.
was great.
Chucks, yes.
Yeah.
I was just saying to them, we need to do a live on the Foley class, so they can all ask me questions about the Foley. You can ask me questions about the Foley on the Horizon. So that's got to be a thing.
But speaking of the next thing, tomorrow we are going to be talking to Joshua Irwin of Demons, a Star Trek fan production, the alternate universe production, very cool project. I've read the story about the script. It's going to be great. They're currently in Indiegogo right now, so in order to help promote them, you've seen some episodes with their alternate universe ships, but you can support them in Indiegogo to actually, get the thing made.
We can actually, if we're going to be doing a live with them tomorrow, hopefully. Right?
Hopefully. Well, Josh said he should be, yeah.
And we can show clips and stuff, and you can ask them questions directly through the super chats, which would be great. So.
That'd be very cool. Yeah, I mean, again, they probably can't copyright, so it's probably fine. They've got some really great things.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Jeff Jacobs puts in $3. Hold on, yay! I was worried. 150. We had 150 likes.
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Awesome. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining, guys. Thanks, obviously, Eugene and those who gave multiple times. You make us go. Much appreciated. And we'll see you tomorrow. So, yeah, thanks, everyone. See you then. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.